This is Mark, and I want to welcome you to this training session for the Fyrian websites. And today we're going to talk about how to add images to your website. There's 3 steps when it comes to adding an image. First, you need to prepare the image on your computer. The second step is to upload it from your computer to the web server. And the third step is to place it where you want on your website. So let's start with step 1. First, you need to get the image ready. Now, if you don't have your own photos to upload, you can purchase images online through a website called iStockPhoto.com. They're very inexpensive, as you can see here, and they have all kinds of different stock photography that you can download just simply by creating an account, which is free, and then coming in here and you can do a search for photographs, let's say for example websites, and it'll pull up several different options here for royalty-free photos. These are all totally legal. You can go ahead and purchase them very inexpensively and then use them on your website. Once you have the image that you want to place on your site, the next step is to crop it to the correct size. Now, when your site was put online, you would have received, along with your login information, dimension information for the maximum size that you can make images. You need to make sure you crop your images to those sizes before you upload them to the web server to make sure that they're the proper size. Otherwise, it can mess up your website. Along with that, you need to make sure that you upload your file in the correct file format. The only acceptable file formats are JPEG, which is .jpg, PNG, which is .png, and GIF, which is .gif. Those are the only 3 formats that are acceptable for images. EPSs, TIFFs, AI files, none of those will work. It has to be JPEG, GIF, or PNG. Along with that, the file name of your image cannot have any spaces or special characters, because if you include spaces and special characters in your file name, you will actually create errors in your website. Okay, so once you have your photo, you're going to go ahead and crop it to the correct size. Now, you would do that using an image editing software program like Photoshop or Photoshop Elements. Photoshop Elements is only about $100 and well worth the money. If you don't have those editing programs and you can't afford them, then there's a couple of free online resources you can use. One of them is Picnic, PICNIK.com. It's a free online image editor. Another one is Photoshop.com from Adobe. Both of these are free resources that you can use to crop and resize your images prior to upload. Once you have your image ready to go, you've got it cropped properly, you've got it saved in the correct format, and you've got the file name correct with no spaces or special characters like ampersands, then you can go to step 2, which is uploading the image from your computer to the web server, and you do that using File Manager over here on the right underneath Recent Items. So I'm going to click on File Manager, and this is going to bring up an online FTP portal where I can upload images to my website. Now you'll notice here that there's a number of different folders. Okay, these folders you're going to want to leave alone with the exception of the images folder. When you receive your website set up, you'll have a folder here called images, and that's where you're going to want to upload your photos to. Okay, in this case I have one that I've called Fyrian Site Images, but in all cases you're going to only want to upload to the images folder. You're going to see other folders here. Some of them are going to say CSS, they may say scripts, they may say style sheets, they may say Fyrian Core. Do not mess around with any of those folders because you can break your website if you do. So make sure you only upload to the images folder. So the way you do that is come to the images folder and just click on it. That will actually take you to the contents of that folder, and once you get there, all you have to do is click on Upload Files. That gives you this little pop down. You click Select. It'll pop up this little window so you can find the image that you want to upload on your computer, and then click OK, and then just click Upload, and that'll upload it into your repository of images. Once it's in here, you'll be able to see that photo that you selected now is in the list of files. It'll give you the size of the file and dimensions, and if you actually click on it, you'll actually see a little preview here. Once you get that part of it done, now you're ready to move on to step 3, which is placing the photo on the page you want it to go on, or in whatever part of the website you want it to go on. So the way that you do that is you go to, I'm going to click on the website tab, and I'm going to use the example of a web page. I'm going to click on sample web page here to get into the editor. Once I'm there, I can place my cursor behind the text, hit enter to drop to a new line, and then grab the image manager button, which is right next to this blue plus sign. It's this little square icon of a mountain with a sun. Click on that, and that's going to bring up the file manager again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that images folder where I was, grab the photo that I uploaded, and once I click on it, it'll give me a preview. I can then click on insert, and it'll drop it in the page for me. As you can see, there's the image. Now if I click on that image, it also gives me the option to add borders. I can put in a tooltip, which is basically an alt tag, which is good for accessibility and search engine optimization. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now, one thing that's very important for you to understand is that in here, when you're dealing with these images, you'll see here there's a resize button. Do not use this to resize your images. This does not truly resize them. It will simply squish them. You don't want to squish your images. It makes for big file sizes and long download times. Make sure that your images are properly cropped before you upload them. Okay? That's all there is involved in putting images on your website. Be sure to check out the other training videos on the Fyrian website system by going to YouTube and do a search for Fyrian websites, all one word, and you'll see all the different videos there and tips and tricks on how to get the most out of your website. Again, my name is Mark, and thanks for joining me for this training.